Even a tweet because I had to get started. We are at Blizzcon 2018, and I have just over an hour, like an hour and 4 minutes or something, to show you guys the newly announced Diablo Immortal, which is a phone game, which I did not expect at all. They gave me a phone, I have it in my hands, and we're going to play Diablo Immortal for the first time. It seems like there are 3 classes that I can choose from. This is not the full game. This is the beta. We don't know too much about how the... So let's just say, normally mobile games can have some microtransactions in them. I have not been told if that's the case at all. Begin your adventure. We are a monk. I have touchpad controls on the left. And then, as I bring out chat, we should just be able to get started. Should just be able to start moving along. Now, I saw that this did not get the warmest of receptions when it was announced to the general population. I saw it wasn't super well received as I locked the phone. But I am going to try to, first of all, unlock this phone so I can play it again. And secondly, to go in with an open and honest impression. I'm trying not to read into what people have said. Okay.
Skeletal foes are just ahead.
I know this is supposed to take place in between Diablo 2 and 3, so you could see some of the stories that have happened while that's been going on. I have a tap to attack voice.
More are coming.
I have 7-sided strike, what it seems to be, right at level 1. Now this is a demo, so I don't know if progression is always going to go this way. Also, if the audio is delayed, which I think it is. Do I have another scene I can go to? Can I do like just gameplay here? Let's see what we got. Boom. I have been told if the audio gets delayed, I may have to restart OBS, which would mean bringing the game down. So, if everything doesn't sound right, you just let me know. Okay, so we have a few abilities. We have our auto attack. This is what we would use to generate spirit in Diablo 3. And the lock is right where I rest my hand. So we're going to flip this phone upside down. I don't see any spirit being generated. I'm not seeing any, boys. We have 7-sided strike that has an 8-second cooldown. That's like the cyclone attack. That's how we swoop everyone in. That wasn't bad at all.
We must stop that summoning ritual.
All right. Can I hover these to see what my abilities are? Flying kick. Dash forward, damaging enemies along the way. This spell can bounce off terrain. Oh, so you like hold it down. Oh. Drag the skill icon and slide the control direction. So does like stuff freeze while I'm doing that? It doesn't appear so. If the audio is delayed, guys, just let me know. And I can restart OBS before we get too far into this. Now, I've been told that the demo is about 15 minutes. So presumably we can see what a lot of the classes have to offer. I really like the vacuum. The vacuum into the 7-sided strike can be very good. You have so many questions about this game. Well, I can only tell you what they have told the public. They did not give me any insider information on top of what you guys already know. As far as I know. As far as I know. I have a potion. All right, we're using it. So I should drag some people in. And then 7-sided. And then what is this called? It's like a chi blast kind of thing that I can control with my right thumb to fire off towards enemies. You know what I haven't seen yet? Any gear. I also, should I be killing I should be killing the cultists because they are spawning everything. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I know this was kind of out of the blue. I knew I was going to be streaming a game
find and vanquish the source.
I didn't know what that game was. Tap to interact. And then when I saw the announcement, I was like, I'm not too sure how I feel about this. And we saw the reception on YouTube, right? Or maybe you haven't. The trailer was not received well by the general population. But like I said, I am a man with... Oh, there's some gear on the ground. The Prophet's Hood. It's equipped, and I got 85 life that I didn't have before. Is there a way to see my equipment? Inventory is disabled during the demo. What about this thing? Skill book, Fists of Thunder. Teleport to an enemy side and deliver rapid succession of 3 hits. Mystical Force pulls enemies towards you. Eye of the Storm. I really like that one. 7-sided Wave Strike. It does not appear like I can change any of these. Anyway, the reception online seems to be an overwhelming, this is not what we were asking for. But I've been asking the developers, or I guess the community managers more accurately, what have people's thoughts been as they are walking away? Yeah, new necklace, okay, new gloves. As they are walking away from this booth, this area. Because all behind me, I guess you guys can't see it very well. All behind me is nothing but people. Like, there's a line, everybody's stopping by, everyone's checking out Diablo Immortal. And they've said that once people get it in their hands, once people play it, they've been having a really positive experience. This is my first time playing it, as I'm sure you can already tell. But it seems fine. The controls are a little weird, so for our flying kick, I have to rotate my right thumb to make it point in the direction I want to go. But I could also see that be something that I get used to really easily. I'd definitely be more interested in kind of coming up with my own build. But I guess for demo purposes, they're showing off who's ready, right? One thing I did notice that was while the demo was going on, Karazim did not get any love. He just showed up for quick seconds here and there. I mean, like, I guess the monk. Maybe this isn't Karazim, right? I know that. But he didn't get much love at all. Whereas the barbarian was like front and center along with the wizard, and that was really cool. I really like that. Like, the way they introduced them was really fucking neat. If you guys haven't seen a trailer yet, it's a cool trailer. It just wasn't what the community was expecting out of Blizzard, I think. It really caught a lot of people off guard. Okay, so the Chi Blast has, it looks like an explosion at the end of its cast. So I should try to, like, cast this going, get it going before I jump in. Looks like it does 400 damage. Our auto attacks are doing about 60. 7-sided strike, of course, being one of the best abilities that's been ever made. You know, it does pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
as far as questions that you guys may have, I encourage you to just watch for a little while. Why is it that whenever the voice actor for Reinhardt is involved in something, he just yells candy and starts throwing it around? Every time we see that guy at Blizzcon, he's just throwing candy at people. Alright, where am I trying to go, boys? I don't know how much or how little you guys could hear him, but he is so excited about candy. So the monk is one of 3 classes that we have unlocked in this beta. We don't have any inventory stuff at all. We can kind of equip the gear we get on the ground. And that's about it. I mean, I assume there's going to be set pieces and things like that. I'm assuming there's going to be the Diablo experience here. I'm sure it's going to happen. Who is that saying candy? That's the Reinhardt voice actor from Overwatch. All right, we're backing out. We're actually getting low on health here. It seems like our healing potion doesn't heal us up instantly. Oh, that guy's big. That guy's real big. So as far as like crafting mechanics or anything like that, I don't know how any of that works at all. Oh, there's a Waller. So where's the pack? Where's the pack to tell me that they're Wallers? Oh. I also didn't know Reinhardt was also the voice of Gallywix. Oh, I see the champion pack now. We got some Arcane. We got a Mortar. Here, let's try to stay back. Now, I am a very big fan of Diablo 3. Even with its flaws, I am a huge fan of Diablo 3. Like, getting away from that Arcane thing felt totally fine once I started getting used to the system. So, I mean, I could definitely see myself playing a game like this. It had a little bit of a learning curve when I first started getting used to the controls, but I feel like I'm getting used to things pretty quickly. I think this would be really fun on a tablet. Okay, amulet. I just looted it. It didn't prompt me to equip them, so I wonder if they're just not as good as what I already have equipped.
We didn't have action figures. I'm old.
All right. I'm just going to move through here a little bit.
I would. I just line up.
We are level 20.
When she asked me what I was doing,
I don't think we're getting any more XP here.
making up stories in my head.
I seem to only be level 20. Do I want to enter solo or enter as a party? So this is part of their social aspects that they're adding in. So this is going to be I hope I'm not saying this incorrectly. This is the massively multiplayer action RPG. So while we were out in the world, if we were playing this on our couch, again, this is my impression. This may not be entirely accurate. We are going to have a developer sit down with us in just a minute so I can ask these questions. But I think other players will be in the area, and other players will be doing stuff. And then when you get to places like this, you can choose to go in with your friends, or you can go in by yourself. These are instanced, whereas everything else in the world is open, and other people could be there killing stuff too. He really likes saying candy. Honestly, him saying candy is the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. All right. So let's see how this goes. I'm sorry, Diablo fans, you guys deserve better. Don't knock it till you try it. Don't be a sheep. Because like I said, so far, I've actually... This has been kind of fun. And as I mentioned earlier, everyone there seems to be a large majority of people that have stopped by on the show floor and enjoyed it. I would love to see the different skills though, because I play a ton of Monk on Diablo 3. And Exploding Palm is my favorite thing. Exploding Palm is my favorite thing in the whole world. I actually just started playing the Diablo 3 on the Switch on the flight to BlizzCon. And I got Gundo gears, and I was putting Exploding Palm on everything and just watching the screen blow up while I was leveling. And I was just reminded that it's one of the most satisfying things that I've ever fucking done. All right, we got a good group here. 7-sided just kind of seems like it's a bomb going off in this game. It kind of seems like it's just area of effect damage rather than actually 7 attacks in an area that hits 7 people.
You know I'm gonna cry, so don't.
Even though our phone isn't, I mean, this is my iPhone Max, right? iPhone SX Max, whatever the new phone's called. This phone's not much smaller than that. I have big hands, I'm a big man. But even so, I have plenty of screen real estate to hit everything. Not everything is too clumped up. I seem to have pretty good movement control over my character.
Now it's like, oh, he's old. He's in his 50s. We like him.
It's really fluid, guys.
He's not
I'm just saying.
It's a giant moth.
It's pretty smooth. I would really like to see what the group play is like. Okay, so this is... my impression of what these bosses are going to be is that, oh god, they came out of nowhere. Is there going to be a little bit more mechanic driven?
has every playable class, both sexes.
That was my impression. So we might have to learn some moves and dodge them. I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time playing. I wanted to save my genuine experience for you guys.
That world, and I just love to have those experiences. I wanted to explore like every corner.
So are these guys coming out of the eggs? Do I need to break those?
It's fun. It's going on an adventure.
What's the cooldown of the potion?
Back to when I was a kid. It's the adventure that led me here. Blizzard changed my life.
Okay,
Blizzard
going back.
changed all of our lives. Guys, look around. Every face here.
I'm just going to keep kiting him while I wait on my cooldowns. It seems like I have unlimited potions.
Stop crying, Darren.
I'm just trying to play safe. I don't want to die in a demo. I don't want to be that guy.
Focus tonight is on you guys. We're gonna shine the spotlight on
And like I said,
you.
it seems like seven-sided strike is just AoE damage now. It lost a little bit of its uniqueness.
Everywhere you look.
Okay, I'm in here. Where's the altar I invested in?
So please,
Oh,
have a wonderful show. We got some incredible,
killed Purus the Decimator.
cosplay.
Okay, he's jumping around. He has ads. All right. 1 7-sided barely dealt any damage to him. Let's try to keep him at range. Oh, that's very good. Okay, back in. Let's group him up. That was definitely a very telegraphed attack in front of him. I mean, I guess bosses in Diablo 3 were telegraphed in general. I mean, you could tell which attack the Butcher's going to do. Up until the point that you just flat out kill the Butcher when you fight him, right? And it's easy to tell when Leoric is summoning ads and things like that. So I guess, I shouldn't be too surprised that stuff is telegraphed. Looks like this is another ad phase. No, totally different. He's on a flaming horse. That's intimidating. Holy crap. Face the legions of hell. Okay, he's doing these areas on the ground that I have to avoid while fighting ads. Okay. Oh no. Wait, what happens if I stand here? Why it looks like I'm taking damage over time from being in that part of the ground too. This is cool. I don't mind this. It looks like something's giving me a movement speed debuff, which is keeping me in front of him a little bit longer. I use my potion. Remember, potions are at instant, so I am kind of incentivized to avoid these attacks a little bit more. He blocked off another part of the fight here. Oh, that attack is cool. He's got ads. Gonna kick through him to avoid the damage. Okay, 7-sided. And dodging. It looks like the kick does a little bit of damage. Yo! That was fun! Okay, I got upgrades again. Now remember, everything you're seeing here is just an early demo, right? Everything is just an early demo. Everything can be adjusted, everything can be changed.
We're doing this again.
But that was really cool.
I did not know what that bio
That was really good.
was.
Yeah, I did. I played the monk. Yes,
You enjoy the monk?
I did. Why don't you introduce yourself
Oh, yeah, sure.
to this camera?
Yeah, to that camera. Hey, guys. My name's Brandy Camel. I'm also known as Nevelistus. I'm the community manager for Diablo. I have been on Diablo for about 5 years now, actually, a little over that.
Yeah.
It's been an adventure.
Yeah, enjoying the ride?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
So what are you going to play next?
I
You
played the monk. What do you think? Barbarian?
Barbarian or the wizard? Well, so I'm kind of biased because I'm a wizard player in pretty much everything.
That's
so,
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
The wizard's got some really cool combos. Let's do the wizard.
Okay.
next. Yeah.
I enjoyed the monk's mobility. It felt really good.
Yeah. Well, then you'll actually really enjoy the teleport skill on the wizard then. You'll have to do the tutorial again, but it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I think I can. I think I can get through the tutorial.
I think you can get the
Starting with lightning right out of the gate.
Right.
I play an elemental shaman.
Oh, do you?
And wow.
Oh, excellent. So this is just right up your alley.
You picked really well. Whoa.
So
that is a That's a really cool targeting reticle.
Yeah, so what's great about Lightning Nova is that it will come back to you wherever you end up.
Oh.
So all those little bits that are out, if you move around the map, they'll come to you.
Okay, I have a teleport.
There's your teleport.
So I can do this and teleport away?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's really cool.
It's good
So
stuff.
I've been talking about the game as far as I know it.
As far as you know it. Okay, sure.
Which is, I know it's going to be on the phone.
Yep.
I know there are multiplayer properties to it.
Yes.
But I don't know the extent of those.
So it is a legitimate MMO ARPG. So it is an MMO world.
Okay.
In the same way that World of Warcraft is an MMO world.
Yeah.
So as you're going out and exploring zones, you will see other players in the world, and they may adventure with you. They may not. They may just be off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You might go find a quest mob or a rare spawn or something like that, and somebody might come and help you kill it, and then be off on their way. And
that's really cool.
those kinds of things, those kind of interactions will happen. And then, again, similar to most other MMOs, there will also be instanced dungeons.
Yeah.
And those will very much be balanced around, getting into a group of 4 and, taking on the fight as you go.
Does it scale up if you can say, like, let's say I go in there with one other person, will it adjust accordingly, or is it made for 4?
It's mostly tuned around the experience of 4. So
Okay.
so very similar to a WoW dungeon. Like,
Okay.
if you were overgeared for it, maybe you and like one other buddy could go take it
Yeah.
down. But it could be really tough if maybe you are less prepared for it.
Gotcha.
So
That's just a really cool idea. Like the emergent gameplay that open world provides.
right.
That's my industry speak for this stream.
Yes.
Yeah, my impression of the monk was really positive. I was hoping I could change my abilities, but I think I'm stuck with what.
Yeah, you are
we
stuck
start
with what's in the demo currently.
Okay.
But we do plan on having at least 12 skills per character. So
Right.
you'll have things that you can swap in and out and kind of change the combinations that you build your fights around.
So are there going to be a lot of systems like what people are familiar with like let's say Diablo 3? Like, are there going to be sets that could change up our gameplay style, like set pieces for armor?
I know that they're still working on itemization, so I would be very surprised if we wound up without sets.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't think they're actually implemented into the game right now.
We're still a ways off.
Yeah, we're still a ways off, and they're still kind of working on itemization and legendaries and where those kind of land in the game. But right now, it's very much focused on ensuring, or a lot of what the development is doing right now is ensuring that the game feels like a legitimate Diablo AAA experience, but on the phone.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, first impression, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
I actually really like it.
Yeah.
Now, I often think that I have a pretty positive outlook on life.
Right.
But I also think this is just really fun.
And that's actually kind of what I found when I was demoing the game before the convention and kind of preparing for it. So they let us download it on our phones, but we could only play it on Blizzard Campus. And
Right.
I was finding that anytime I found like a break at work, I'd pull it up and I'd be like, okay, I've already played this, but I want to spend more time with it.
It's really fun.
And then I would get into the like habit of I'd go home and I'd try to boot it up, and I'm like, oh, I'm sad. I can't play this right now.
That's pretty cool, though.
So
it gives you something to look forward to at work.
it does. It does actually. It's been difficult because I now I've got Diablo on the Switch now. I've got Diablo on PC. I'm playing in current season. And now I have this, and I'm like, I have so much Diablo and so little time.
Has it been talked about whether or not you have to have like an online connection to play, or would you be able to play solo?
So it is an MMO.
Yeah.
So very similar to, again, I'll use WoW as an example. Kind of need an internet connection to experience the game, really.
Gotcha.
It is meant primarily as a multiplayer experience, and you can
totally get it.
You can totally play on your own. I mean, that's what you're doing right now, effectively. Yeah. But you are still in a living, breathing world. You might run across other players, and that's one of the things that we really resplendent chest. I've actually not seen a lot of people find this one.
I didn't find it the first time.
There you go. But yeah, it's meant to be. Oh no!
No, totally.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Not even close.
Not even close. You're fine.
I really like, I know off topic from what we were just saying, I just really like how the meteor kind of helps you target it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, hey, there's a big group here. You want to hit that guy?
Right. You want to hit that guy? Yeah, it's pseudo-assisted. It's like, I'd like to make a suggestion.
Exactly, yeah. It's not heavy-handed.
If I may.
Yeah, I was worried because I have big hands.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And I was worried that the screen would kind of feel cluttered.
Yeah.
And this is smaller than my phone there.
Really? Okay.
And I feel like I'm fine.
Yeah, I feel like you're fine.
Can I enter as a party
yeah.
on this demo?
Yes, you can. And you'll actually be playing with other folks who are on the show floor.
Great.
Who are also playing.
I can blame them if I die.
All right, yeah, totally.
Yeah, the first time we did the boss totally solo, and it was really cool figuring out like his mechanics.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, usually when I play Diablo, I kill stuff instantly.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
It dies right away.
Yeah.
But it was really nice to have to be like, uh-oh, this is the ad phase. This is the, he's getting on a horse.
Right, yeah. Oh, what do we do now? Oh, wizard seems to be popular. You get 3 wizards and a barbarian.
We keep referencing back to WoW.
Yeah.
Are we going to have to know boss strategies to go into these fights?
You might. You know, like you said, there are a bunch of boss strategies even with this one. You're kind of figuring them out as you go.
That's
and
true.
We're actually really looking forward to playing around with that kind of design. You know, bosses in Diablo 3 by comparison are pretty straightforward for the most part. And
That's true.
There are some fights that are more complex than others, but it's not quite at the same level as like a WoW dungeon boss is or a WoW raid boss. Experimenting with that level of complexity is something that we're really looking forward to with Immortal, and I think it'll be a good time.
Items like this, the Iron Pauldrons.
Yes.
Does that drop exclusively for me, or does everyone see it?
So that's yours.
Okay.
That is yours. I believe we're using a very similar loot system to the way Diablo 3 works currently, which is that you have loot that drops for you. You're the only one that sees it. It's your personal loot. I don't know if there's been decisions made on like trading or dropping
that
and
was
partying.
gonna be the next.
Yeah,
the obvious progression.
I don't know if that's been fully determined yet. Like I said, we're mostly focused on the gameplay and making sure that gameplay feels good and sweet.
It really does, honestly.
Yeah.
It's really satisfying. There was I'm mostly a Heroes of the Storm player.
Right.
There was a strategy back in the alpha with Diablo, funny enough,
Ha.
where you would shoot out.
With Hellfire, right?
Yeah, you would shoot out your Hellfire and then try to get the person as on a central point. So you would do your W, teleport in with your Q, and then flip them over.
Yeah.
So all of the different tendrils of fire
would go back to them. Yeah.
the same point. Yeah.
Yep.
It was called shotgunning.
Ah.
And I'm really happy to see that in this game. Like when you told me I could do that, that was immediately where my mind went
Where
to.
your mind went. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually afraid to get hit by this guy with 4
He
players.
hits hard. He does.
So this is mostly a knockback, right? Top
So it does
builder.
have a knockback, and actually the Wizards are at a little bit of a disadvantage in this fight because a lot of their utility with this particular build comes from knockbacks and stuns.
Oh yeah.
And the boss is immune to them.
Oh.
So a lot of you'll end up relying probably a bit more on things like Meteor and then Lightning Nova.
I see.
Just for damage purposes.
I noticed on the Monk there was no resource generation of any kind. It was all cooldown based.
Correct. Yep. And that's actually true for all the classes.
Okay.
So it is primarily cooldown based, and it simplifies the combat enough. But it also changes the way that you approach combat because it becomes much more about tactical decisions.
That's true. If I do this now, I can't do it later.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Well, and then you also start thinking about like, well, how do I want to combine these things? Right?
Yeah. So I get my legendary weapon.
Yeah, you get your legendary weapon.
And then it ends.
And then it ends. Yep. Just a little bit. There's that little taste.
Do we know? Chance asking if this is going to be a free-to-play game. Do we know anything about the pricing structure at all?
So we aren't talking about monetization at Blizzcon this year. That is, we are definitely paying very close attention to what fans want, to what we think will work best for the game, and to not let that get in the way of gameplay. Okay. So gameplay is definitely going to be first. And that's why we're focusing on that first before we even get to the point of talking about monetization.
Gameplay should come first.
It is. Yeah, I mean, we have it.
100%
It's a plaque in front of the orc at work.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on the barbarian. We're dual wielding.
Dual wielding. Yep.
I like that.
You got dual wielding build.
Is there going to be a spin to win barbarian?
Oh,
build?
absolutely.
That's my favorite way to play.
How could you not?
Okay, so we have spears we throw
Right,
out.
you got your
That looks
spears.
satisfying.
And
Is there going to be any way to, like, things like life on hit, things like that?
Okay.
Would we be able to get that in any capacity?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if that's if they've fully decided on. Like I said, itemization is still one of the things that they're working on.
For sure.
So specific stats and specific types of stats are still sort of being determined. There you go.
That's a little satisfying.
Isn't it?
Okay, what
that
else do
Hammer
I
of the
got?
Ancients. There you go.
That's the only button. That's the only button I want.
Yeah, you're right. I don't need anything else. But it is on a cooldown.
It is a 12-second cooldown.
12-second cooldown.
All right, first pitch for the game.
Yeah.
Give me set pieces that lower the cooldown.
Okay. Noted. Noted.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Let's see. Oh, are we going to have parties formed outside of dungeons? Yes, that is a thing you can do. You can definitely go ahead and get your buddies together and say, hey, let's go take down a world boss.
Yeah.
Or let's go take down this quest boss that we need to hunt together.
There were some examples of what I presumed were world bosses in the trailer.
Yes.
Like a few people running up and like 6 people attacking this giant catapult kind of looking thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Is that going to be a really common occurrence, or are those special events?
So I think there's probably just going to be a mix of them, where it's sometimes there might be a world boss in a zone, maybe it'll be a special event. There's a lot of things we can do there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well done, but our work is not
Let's
finished.
see.
We must
Oh, I
find
thought I saw
and
something.
vanquish the
I want a
source
chest
of
here.
this
You want to
corruption.
chest?
I feel like I killed
I finished
my
the tutorial. Where's
Yeah.
my chest?
Kill 50 enemies.
Kill 50 enemies. Yep.
Now, are there going to be like quest hubs you still go back to? Is there
Yeah.
going to be central gathering
So
places?
there is a central hub, and it's
Okay.
the city of Westmarch.
Okay.
Which, if you've played Diablo 3, you've been to Westmarch,
Yeah.
but it was kind of on fire. You know, Malthael and his Reapers came through.
Seen
and
better days.
Seen better days, yeah, for sure. But this is Westmarch, 15 years prior to that, when it's a living, breathing, thriving metropolis city. And it is just your full hub. It is your Stormwind, it is your Ironforge, it is, your Orgrimmar. So it'll be a place where you can go and investigate your stash or gear up or wander around town and look at other people's super sweet gear. And I think we'll be talking a little bit more about the world of Sanctuary and where it's at in this timeline at tomorrow's panel.
The deep dive.
Yeah, the deep dive into lore and story.
So it's like a 20-year gap or something in between Diablo 2 and this? Is that correct?
Between Diablo 2, no, actually, between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 is a 20-year gap.
Okay.
So between Diablo 2 and this is a 5-year gap.
Okay.
So it's been 5 years since the World Stone was destroyed.
Gotcha.
And kind of the TLDR of the story is that these fragments of the World Stone are corrupted. One of the last things Baal did before he died was he corrupted the World Stone. And so you are one of the heroes of Sanctuary, fighting against the corruption that is starting to seep into the world out of these pieces of World
really
Stone.
cool. That's really cool.
So,
I liked the trailer a lot.
yeah.
The audience, when it was shown off, I think there were some mixed emotions in there. But I was like,
I understand.
yeah, okay.
I understand.
It could work.
Yeah, I know. I know the community is very excited about what we have for the future, and I don't think this was quite what they expected.
Sometimes it's pleasant to be surprised.
Sometimes it is pleasant to be
Unless you're on
surprised.
the... I am legitimately pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and it really is its own thing, right? Ooh, a speed pylon. Nice.
I'm just going to run now.
Yeah, just run wherever
Do I
you
deal
want.
damage if I run into... No.
No, it's not quite the same as the speed point in D3.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly, I'm going to share
yeah.
with you. I came into the Blizzard sphere a little late.
Okay.
World of Warcraft was my first Blizzard game. It was actually one of my first PC games in general.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worried that I was going to have to play Diablo 2 today. And I was really nervous.
You were really nervous about it?
I was really nervous about it because I tried it one time and everyone in chat was like, I can't believe you don't know everything about everything. Oh, I'm so screwed.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You got
I
it.
do heal with the whirlwind. I did notice that.
Yeah, that is one of the kind of the major things with the whirlwind is it gives you that life on hit.
Yeah.
So
So honestly, I was a little relieved when I knew that.
Yeah.
I know a lot
different.
of people were expecting a remaster, but but I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready.
I did not do my homework.
You were not prepared.
Does this little effect after the hammer continue to do damage?
I think so.
It
Yeah,
does,
it
a
does. Yep,
tiny
you
little
can
bit,
see the
yeah.
little tick that's happening on there.
So you said we're expecting 12 skills for each class?
We're expecting minimum of 12
Minimum
skills
12
for
skills.
each class. I think there's a couple right now that have 16.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think they're
Okay, I'm
just.
gonna do solo.
I think they're still trying to, decide what the right number is, what feels
Yeah.
good, what's, gives you all of these different options for, building combinations and tuning to your own preferences in the way that you want to fight.
Right.
So.
And there are so many builds in Diablo 3 that make you feel like you're playing like a entirely encapsulated class with just that
Right,
one play
with
style.
just that one play style.
Which I think leaves a lot of room in a game like this to be like, well, the female barbarian, for
Right.
instance, might be totally different.
Well, and it's like, do I want to play a lightning-based wizard? Do I want
Yeah.
to play a fire-based wizard? That's something that you'll be able to make that decision.
I came really close to death again. I feel like my barbarian skills are
Your
not
barbarian
up to
skills,
par.
yeah.
I made it through pretty much everything else with relative confidence.
Yeah.
On the other ones. I am a monk main though. I do love the
Oh,
monk
okay.
class.
Gotcha.
That's where I had to go first.
So that was funny was because when I did demo, I'm actually both a wizard and a barbarian player. Like those are my two favorite classes. And I really took to the monk. Like monk's one of the ones I have the least amount of play time on in D3, but I love how the monk plays in Immortal. It has a really great flow to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It did. And I like that his movement skill did damage. I'm sure this one does too.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I noticed about the teleport on the wizard. It was like it's just to get yourself
just
out.
to get you out of there. But it's also a little bit more powerful in that, like, nothing can block your way.
True.
You can teleport outside of like a wall or over, the side of an effect that's blocking your way.
So what is like the maximum amount of players we could have involved in something?
Involved
So
in something?
it's
That's a
4
good
for
question.
it's 4 for the dungeon.
It's 4 for the dungeon, yes. But like out in the open world,
Yeah.
I think right now it goes up to 32.
Ooh.
But remains to be seen what the final number will end up being. But I think I have seen up to in the same zone.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily all doing the same thing at the same time,
Gotcha.
but
That's pretty cool.
it's quite a lot.
That's pretty cool. I've always been intrigued by the ARPG MMO concept.
Yeah.
I've seen a few other games try it. I've just never tried them.
Yeah. So I have played some other ARPG MMO style games, and for one reason or another, they never quite caught me. And maybe there's a little bit of bias in there, but when
slight bias.
yeah, a little bit. But when I sat down and started playing this, it was like, it doesn't feel like anything else that's out there right now.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it has that Diablo twist, that Diablo flair to it. But it really is its own thing, and it stands really well on its own.
I really like it.
Yeah.
First impression.
Good. I'm
pretty
glad. I did see somebody ask about the thumbstick, whether it's dynamic or fixed. It is dynamic.
I don't know what that means.
So if you lift your thumb and you place it wherever you want, it moves with you.
Maybe that's why the screen didn't feel cluttered.
Because it goes wherever you need to go.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. And you don't need to. We like to say that's one of the signs of good UI design is that you don't notice it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, do we? I know I've asked about monetization. Have I asked about release date?
Release date, you have not. We don't have a release date yet.
Is there a window you're aiming for? Soon TM?
Soon TM is probably the best I can give right now.
And how many classes are we expecting to have?
At launch is the 6 we talked about earlier today. So that's going to be Barbarian, Monk, Wizard, Demon Hunter, Necromancer, and that's it. Yeah, that's 6, right? Did
I'll
I
take
count
your
right?
word for
Oh,
it.
and Crusader. Crusader was the one I didn't say.
So Witch Doctor not on the line.
So the Witch Doctor's not in the initial lineup, no.
Okay.
But that's not to say that we won't do additional classes in the future.
That's it. You take what we
Yeah,
give.
you take what we give you. No, we do want to expand this into a world that is growing constantly, and that will mean new areas, new zones, new dungeons to explore, and hopefully new classes as well. So.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I like this phase a lot.
Oh, the
fire horse
horse,
is
yeah, the fire horse phase, yeah. It kind of made the first time I did it, it really made my blood pump because I was just like, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. I think I had Karazhan flashbacks to.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I could see that.
So, but yeah, I know that there's definitely a desire to add the Witch Doctor. At least internally on the team, we have some Witch Doctor fans. I know Matthew Berger, one of our folks who's working on the project, really wants to see the Assassin. Assassin's one of his favorite classes from Diablo 2. So I would love to see Amazon someday. I'm a really big Amazon fan.
Yeah, that'd be
I loved
really
playing Javazon way back when, so that would be really cool.
I have mastered this demo.
You have mastered this demo. You have. So out of the 3 classes, which one do you think you enjoyed the most?
I'm gonna go with Monk.
You gonna go with Monk? Yeah.
Again, slight bias.
Yeah, slight bias. You've got a lot of Monk.
I do have a Monk emote after all.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I did really like the Wizard.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. It's got a very interesting flair to it, and it's very glass cannony. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going in one more time.
You're gonna go in one more time as the Monk.
Does the Monk have a name? Because it's not Karazhan.
It is not Karazhan. So the thing about the characters in there we go. We got it going. So the characters that are in this particular game are not the same ones that are in D3.
Right.
They are their own entities. And
they're right behind us.
Yes.
Or in front of us.
Yeah. Is the piece of artwork.
Yeah,
that's
this is
got
the charity auction over here on the other side, and
yeah.
they have a beautiful key art with all of these new characters in it.
It's so beautiful.
And they look similar enough that you recognize their archetype.
Right. So
but they don't look like the same character.
But they're not the same characters.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that the characters that are in Diablo Immortal are what you make of them. So there will be a level of customization.
Right.
So that it's not the Monk, it's your Monk.
Are they still considered a Nephilim?
I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. That might be a story point that remains to be seen.
I just really think it's satisfying to pull the entire room into one spot.
Yes.
And then 7-sided.
Yes, it's a really good, satisfying combo.
Super satisfying. So, are there any particular storylines? I know they mentioned a few in the opening ceremony, but I don't remember what they were.
Okay.
Are there any particular storylines we can expect to explore?
So almost certainly, the main thing that you're going to be investigating is where these World Stone shards have gone.
Yeah.
What they're doing to the world of Sanctuary, how to fix the corruption that is spreading from them. I think we'll probably see a little bit of Deckard Cain and see what he's been doing in the time between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. We might see Leah as a child.
Oh,
that
cool.
could be cool.
That would be cool.
There's so many things that we could see, and I think we're really excited to explore that realm of it's 20 years of history that's not really filled in. But I do know they talked a little bit about Jozan, who is the trainer of the Demon Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And the Demon Hunters are actually in the process of being formed right at this point in time. So you're kind of one of the storylines you might really get to dig into is the birth of the Demon Hunters as
really
like
cool.
a faction.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that'll be really exciting for those of you that really like.
Are there going to be any PvP elements at all?
PvP elements? I don't think I have anything on PvP at this time. So maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
I think another good thing about having a little bit more of a focused scope for each character
Yep.
is the fact that if anything needs to be tuned, it's
Right.
just a little slider that you move.
Right.
Rather than changing this one thing that might affect 16 other
16
things.
other things. Yeah.
So that is definitely one benefit to like the monk. You know, he's doing this.
Yeah, he's
That's
doing
what
his
the
thing.
monk does.
That's what he does, and it's focused on this. So,
I found another one.
you know, how fluid is it to use all your skills?
Are you asking me to use all of my skills?
Well, no, that's a question in
That's
chat. How
what the
fluid
chat
is
is
it?
saying?
Yeah, that's what the chat is saying.
When I first started, there was definitely a learning curve. But I got used to it really fast.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, with this kick, I have to aim with my right thumb for where it goes, which took me, like, I was, like, being really precise with the aiming. I was trying to get it perfect.
Yeah.
But now it's like just a flick reaction. If anything, the monk feels better to play my second time
Your
around
second
than
time
it did
around,
the first time.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
So it's good to have a learning curve that isn't too steep.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So, and I think that's one of the things that we really are trying to focus on in here is we want the controls to be very intuitive and feel natural.
And I think that is a testament to me not even noticing that this push thing on the,
Right,
on the
yeah.
left moves.
Uh-huh.
Like, it feels very natural. So I do absolutely love the amount of... should I do it as a group or solo? It's my last one.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, you did solo the first time as a monk, right?
I did.
You want to do party this time, yeah.
Did I get it in?
I think so. Well, maybe. Nope, you're on your own.
I was already holding
Yeah, you're
down
already
my
holding
finger
on,
on
yeah.
it when I went to ask the question.
So they're going to be a druid class, maybe. Could be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ask about another class. Maybe.
Maybe. We've got, and that's the thing is that there's so much room for
Exactly, yeah,
exploration.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
so much room for growth.
I love the amount of customization in Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Where if you really focus on a particular playstyle, you can excel at it.
Yes.
And I just want that in this game with these controls, and I
Yeah.
would be very happy.
I think that's really the intent, is that you can pick your play style and focus on it. I'm really excited to see the development of how legendaries will affect
Yeah.
your play style and allow you to kind of customize.
Potions not being instant is
Yeah,
very scary.
isn't it? Yeah, it's a little bit terrifying.
I would love to talk to you about Diablo 3 after this, by the way.
Sure, yeah, anytime.
Just really quick.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I'm always open to chat about any of the Diablos, the Dibbles.
What is your favorite build in Diablo 3?
In Diablo 3?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to know you more.
So like I said, I'm a wizard and barbarian player. Wizard tends to be where I lean a little bit more, and I really love the Delcier's Magnum Opus set. There's a
Is that the one with the orbs?
with the bubbles, yeah.
Yeah.
Where- bubbles everywhere. So my favorite thing about Delcier's Magnum Opus is that it feels very tactical. In that it's you have to set up the battlefield to make the best of it, because it's where your bubbles are placed matters. And
what I'm really trying to do is be like, if I see a set in this game, I'll be like, I know who inspired me. I know where that came from.
I also just really love the oh god, what is it? I'm blanking on the name. The knives, the magic knife skill. That's a signature spell.
It's not Fan of
It's
Knives.
not Fan of Knives.
That's Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name right now.
I know exactly.
Yeah, you
what
know
you're talking
exactly
about.
what it's that
the
hand
close
thing,
range
right?
skill.
It's a close range one.
Yeah.
So there's a build that I use based off of that, where it's bubbles everywhere, and then I just get all up in your face with
Yeah,
these
that's
magic
cool.
knives, and it's fun. It's fun.
My favorite set is Juliana's.
Spectral Blades. Thank you,
Spectral
Molaski.
I love the Juliana set. I love putting
Yes.
Exploding Palm on everything, and then 7-siding Strike, which I'm glad it's in this game, by the way.
Yes.
And then just watching the whole screen explode.
Yeah,
it's one of the most satisfying things.
My fiance plays Juliana's like every season.
It's really fun.
Like he loves Juliana's.
It's really good. All right, this is our last boss.
This is your last boss run.
Now, I did notice that 7-sided Strike doesn't seem to deal bonus damage if it's just one person.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting observation. I don't know if that might not even be intended. It's hard.
Yeah,
to
I don't think
tell
I don't
'cause
think it is.
Yeah.
I just kind of deal AoE damage, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I just noticed.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, it's a good call out because it's a clear difference between
Yeah.
you know, Immortal and how Diablo 3 functions. Is this basically D3 Lite on a different platform? Not quite, because it really is its own thing. Like, clearly there is definitely a lot of inspiration from Diablo 3. And, you know, we are using familiar classes from Diablo 3 to start with. But it's its own thing, you know. It being an MMO changes the way that you're going to play.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be about playing beginning to end from a campaign or playing adventure mode all the time or running rifts. Like, it's going to have a different cadence, a different approach to the way that you play the game. And we're hoping that the social aspect of it, that it being a living, breathing world, it being an MMO, is really what changes your experience the most.
Should we expect to see guilds and things like that once it comes along to help with those social aspects?
I would expect so.
Okay. Nothing official.
Yeah, nothing official, but I wonder if we talk about that tomorrow. I'm not sure. I know that there's a bunch more info in the panel tomorrow.
During the deep dive.
During the deep dive, yeah.
It's like my favorite panel name.
Yeah.
The deep
The
dive.
deep dive.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not for casuals.
Let's see. How different is the graphics engine from D3? I mean, it's a different engine. I can say that much. By nature, it has to be. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's hitting all the notes for me that a Diablo game does. Like, this looks like Diablo.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it plays like Diablo.
Yeah.
Like, it's really satisfying. It's really fluid. Like, I'm pretty sure I just got immunity frames there using 7-sided strike.
Yep.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, that is definitely a thing with 7-sided strike.
All the same stuff you could do in Diablo, I feel like I'm replicating it relatively well here. I mean, I have this new kick thing.
Yeah.
But it's like...
I love that kick ability.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty great.
Guys, it's pretty good. Now, like I said, I usually find the light in the darkness.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And so I feel like I'm a pretty good person to give a positive first impression on something. But that was really fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back again later and play it.
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
am.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
that was really good.
Well, we'd love to have you anytime.
Thank you for sitting down and talking with me.
Absolutely.
I have to.
My pleasure.
I have to pass the baton off to another streamer here
That's
soon.
true. That's true.
So I think that's where we're going to stop. But that was definitely a really positive first impression for me.
Awesome.
And I tried to
Glad
go
to
in
hear
with
it.
an open mind, and I'm very glad that I did.
Awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to sharing more in the coming months. Where I'm sure we'll have tons more information next year, and we're looking forward to getting it into your guys' hands as soon as we can.
That was really fun.
Awesome.
All right, I have to go stream Classic WoW.
Oh, have fun.
And Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Oh, man, you've got all kinds of exciting things to do. Yeah.
So that's going to be starting soon. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
Really enjoyed it.
Yep. All right.
And I will see you guys very soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.